Ping Yi is a renowned chef in a village in China, and he is also the bearer of the dragon head axe, an emblem of authority for his clan. Everyone in the clan knows and admires him, except for his envious nephew, Kai Zhou. Kai Zhou believes that he should be the rightful bearer of the sacred blade, since his father was the last owner. One day, Ping Yi and his clan are hired to cater a large banquet organized for the town's high officials. While cooking, Ping Yi's apprentice accidentally burns the pork, which was the main dish. The chef reprimands him and decides to slaughter and prepare the animal himself from scratch in less than 30 minutes. With the sacred blade, he cuts the pork precisely in just a few seconds, and half an hour later the dish is ready to serve. Ping Yi adds a touch of salt as a finishing touch, unaware that his apprentice, under Kai Zhou's orders, has mixed a powerful drug into the salt. The dish is exquisitely presented and served to the guests, but soon they begin to collapse from the effects of the drug, and the blame falls on Ping Yi's kitchen. The chef discovers what his apprentice has done and asks him why, but the young man pushes him away and flees, fearing the consequences. Ping Yi chases after him, but a group of men stop him, accusing him of trying to poison the town's politicians. In addition to being a cook, Ping Yi is an expert martial artist and faces the group alone, managing to defeat them all. Finally, Ping Yi catches his apprentice and is about to kill him with the knife when his partner stops him, humiliating him for trying to blame others for his mistake. Before the chef can defend himself and explain what happened, he is expelled from the village, declared unworthy of carrying the dragon axe. Far away, at a martial arts and cooking school, a teacher organizes a contest among his students. He announces that whoever manages to place the school's emblem in its original place will receive a special prize. The students go crazy trying to reach it and start fighting each other. One of them, named Qin Yat, climbs on top of the tables and over the other students, managing to reach it, but the others attack him before he can return it to its place. Amid the chaos, the emblem falls into the teacher's hands, and the students rush towards him. During a chase, Qin Yat recovers the emblem and puts it back on the platform without anyone noticing. At lunch, the teacher goes to the cafeteria looking for Qin Yat. The young man plays a joke on him, and the two end up in a friendly fight. Qin Yat demonstrates his talent, fighting alone with a roll of dough while turning it into noodles at the same time. Seeing this, the teacher recommends that he visit a chef named Shum. He believes that Qin Yat has learned everything he can at school, but he still lacks an understanding of the profound essence of food. Later, Qin Yat sets out in search of Master Chef Shum to begin his training. The Master Chef works at a restaurant called Four Seas, and the owner, Qing, is looking for several new recipes to raise the restaurant's ratings. Her sister, Ying, helps her, but they are distressed because the dishes do not meet their standards. Qin Yat arrives looking for Shum, and they ask him to wait. At the same time, Ping Yi enters the hotel to enjoy traditional Cantonese food. Qing offers him tea and is surprised to see that he can identify her secret ingredient with just one sip. To test the hotel chef, Shum, Ping Yi orders a traditional Chinese dish called water cabbage. The chef brings the dish and asks for his honest opinion. When she describes it as bland, Shum takes offense and challenges him to a culinary duel. Since they will need an assistant, Qin Yat offers to help Ping Yi. Qing wants innovative dishes for his restaurant, so he does not object. After a while, both chefs present their creations. Shum's signature chicken is delicious, but when they taste Ping Yi's traditional chicken, the sisters are amazed. It is revealed that he covered it with sugar syrup so that it would boil from the inside. In addition, as indicated in traditional recipe books, he did not use a knife to cut the pieces. Shum accepts his defeat and resigns from his position as the restaurant's chef. Instead, Qing appoints Ping Yi and Qin Yat as head chef and assistant chef, respectively. That night, Qing discovers that Ping Yi's brother, who taught him everything about cooking, was a student of her father. She is delighted to have someone like Ping Yi, as his style and principles are identical to her father's. To verify whether Ping Yi is as talented as he seems, Qin Yat challenges him to a fish cutting contest. Qin Yat chooses a puffer fish for his dish, which requires very precise skills to cut without losing its original flavor, and leaves Ping Yi impressed. For his part, Ping Yi uses a common fish for his dish. He cuts portions of its flesh and leaves the fish alive even after preparing the dish, leaving both Qing and Qin Yat shocked to see that the fish is still swimming. Seeing this, they recognize that no one can compete with Ping Yi's cutting skills. The next day at work, Qin Yat is ready to learn from his new teacher, but to his disappointment, Ping Yi simply assigns him to sharpen the knives. He spends the whole night completing the task and finishes it in the morning, but when he shows it to Ping Yi, the chef is not impressed. He says that before teaching him how to cook, he must first learn how to cut meat and vegetables very well. Since slicing, chopping, and grinding techniques are the fundamentals of becoming a great chef, Qin Yat is given the responsibility of cutting all the vegetables in the restaurant. Ping Yi's nephew, Kai Zhou, who was responsible for getting him expelled from the village, also has a restaurant in the city, the main rival of the Four Seas restaurant, and hates his uncle for being the reason his father left the village long ago. Chef Shum meets Kai Zhou, asking for a job now that he has quit his old job. But Kai Zhou says they already work with a master chef and do not need his services. Upon learning that his hated uncle works for the rival restaurant, he becomes enraged. One of Kai Zhou's trusted men suggests that he forget the rivalry, saying that he is no match for his uncle, but this angers him even more and he ends up hitting him. Back in the past, we see that Kai Zhou's father, Wang, was a great cook, but over time he became an alcoholic. Ping Yi was opposed to her brother carrying the dragon axe because of this. One night they fought, and as a result Wang injured his hand, preventing him from cooking. After leaving Ping Yi in charge of his son, Wang left the village, and Kai Zhou still blames Ping Yi for his father's disappearance, seeking revenge. Back in the present, Qin Yat continues to chop vegetables, and it's been 2 weeks now. During this time, he playfully jokes and flirts with Ying, whom he is beginning to like. Ping Yi teaches her techniques to all the staff, including Ying and Qin Yat. Their ratings soon rise thanks to their innovative dishes. One night, Kai Zhou and his associates arrive at the restaurant to eat. They place nails in the dish and blame the chef for putting their lives at risk. Seeing this, all the customers fall for the deception and leave the place, refusing to continue eating there. Kai Zhou insults Ping Yi, but the man remains calm and apologizes. He does not want to fight with his family, and he understands why his nephew hates him. In the next scene, Qin Yat and Ying are in a store buying groceries. The two are quite worried, as they have lost half of their customers after the nail incident. Ying sees Kai Zhou shopping nearby, and still furious about ruining her business, she attacks him. Kai Zhou's henchmen soon join in and fight the two. Qin Yat easily defeats them in no time, while Ying fights Kai Zhou. At one point, they are surrounded by the rival group, but they manage to trick them and escape. As they catch their breath, they see an advertisement for the Chef of the Year contest. It is clear that if their chef wins, their ratings will rise again. However, when they ask Ping Yi to participate, he refuses. It turns out that he received a call from the village that morning, asking him to return, explaining that since his departure, nothing has been the same. Ping Yi trusts his teachings and asks Qin Yat to represent the restaurant in the contest. The next day, Qin Yat and his assistant prepare for the first round of the competition. They face 6 other chefs, but their biggest rivals are Shum and his partner Chao Tu. The competition begins, and the chefs prepare their signature dishes. In the first few minutes, Qin Yat thinks about what the best dish might be, when Ching, from the audience, suggests a dish made with pigeon, duck, and chicken. It is not an easy choice, as it can easily be overcooked, but if done right, it is exquisite. Qin Yat begins his dish, while his rival Chao Tu skins an ox head for a famous Sichuan dish. An hour later, all the dishes are presented to the judges. They criticize each one mercilessly, but when they get to Qin Yat's dish, they have nothing but praise. They also seem to enjoy Chao Tu's dish very much, and when the results are announced, both Qin Yat and Chao Tu pass the first round. Qin Yat and the team celebrate their initial victory and prepare for the final, in which they will compete one-on-one. When Kai Zhou finds out about this, he sends thugs to beat up Qin Yat so that he cannot attend the final. Qin Yat defends himself as best he can, but ends up locked in a refrigerator with Ying. The next day, we see that Qin Yat has managed to escape and arrives in time for the grand final. In the village, Kai Zhou goes to see his uncle to kill him once and for all. Ping Yi is attacked by a large group of hitmen, whom he bravely confronts. Although he takes several blows, Ping Yi manages to defend himself and teaches his nephew a lesson. He has the opportunity to kill Kai Zhou, but he doesn't because he still sees him as family. At the same time, the cooking contest begins. This time, the contest is about making an exquisite soup, but they cannot use any seasonings. Chao Tu decides on a traditional chicken soup, while Qin Yat remembers Ping Yi's teachings, recalling the dish of cabbage and water that the chef had ordered when he arrived at the restaurant. It has only 3 ingredients, and if cooked with the right technique, the dish tastes delicious. The boy prepares it exactly as Ping Yi taught him. He uses minced chicken mixed with water for the soup, and then pierces the cabbage so that the soup can penetrate it and release all its flavor. Chao Tu, on the other hand, uses a traditional oven to cook his chicken soup, with more ingredients than Qin Yat's, and slightly breaks the rules. Ping Yi arrives at the venue and praises Qin Yat for his tremendous effort. When time is up, the chefs serve their respective soups to the judges. They taste Chao Tu's first and are impressed by its rich flavor, but when they taste Qin Yat's, they simply close their eyes and can't believe it. Chow too is amazed by the reaction and goes to taste a judge's leftovers. Upon tasting it, he takes off his hat, accepting defeat. King Yat and his team celebrate their victory with joy, and Ping Yi even gives him the dragon head cleaver as a gift. To everyone's surprise, Ping Yi's older brother, who had disappeared years ago, arrives on set. The man reconciles with Ping Yi and even tries the cabbage and water dish. A few weeks later, everyone is at the restaurant, and King Yat has decided to travel with Ping Yi around the world to learn about different cuisines and culinary cultures.